I just wanted to talk about the John Allen Chau and him getting arrowed to death on North Sentinel Island. What I wanted to discuss was looking at this from an energetic viewpoint and how the energies, both subtle and non-subtle, uh, the relationship to those energies and the end results that occurred. Now, there's basically in life two types of energy you can operate from. One is being unconditional, accountable, responsible for self and others. That's the energy of unconditional love. And the other is through some form of judgment, blame, guilt, or shame. So those are two, basically two. The two major energy cores you can operate from. Now, both of them are going to give you, each of them are going to give you very different results. When you're operating from the energy of love, that's unconditional accountability, responsibility for self and others, the end result that you get from being and remaining in those energetic frequencies are grace, ease, and abundance. Some form of grace, ease, and abundance in your life. Almost like synchronicity. It's like things are synchronous in your life. Things just suddenly pop up and happen. Things flow. Things come to you that are just supporting what you want and just make what you want to support. What you say you want just happens, more easily, more abundantly. Because those energy frequencies are 100% allowing. And you're not resisting things that come to you. You're not holding them back. When you're in the energy of judgment, blame, guilt, and shame, you are holding those things back. So as a result, you're going to experience some form of loss, lack, illness, struggle. So let's apply this to the case of this American. I wouldn't call him a missionary. I'd call him a colonizer because of the approach. That the approach he took was completely a colonizer approach. It had no respect for the native people on that island whatsoever. So let's talk about that. Now, to me, I'm not fully understanding exactly what happened. There's so many. I mean, so many reports were so sketchy on what happened. It's kind of difficult to put together because the reports are. The only thing that I know is that he was there. He got chased off by arrows. He came back to the boat, and then he went back to the island again. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, his whole purpose, as he quote unquote said, was he wanted to bring Jesus to the people of the island. Now that is where he started to go wrong from the where he started to go wrong from the beginning was deciding to go to an island where he knew, because he'd been to that group of islands before, he knew that particular island was off limits. Okay, that nobody could go there. And several reasons. They've been isolated for all those years. They didn't have any immunity to modern diseases, so somebody could go there and cough and wipe the whole tribe out. So one, the fact that he chose to ignore that policy, to ignore, I think it was a law, it's against the law, to ignore that. Okay, that was the first step that he went wrong. And that was the first step where he thought he knew better. He was not respectful to the local laws. Okay, so that's not allowing, all right, that's not allowing others. That's not allowing others to have their particular protocol and their particular way of being to be. You're not allowing others. You're enforcing your will by saying, I'm not going to respect your laws. I'm going to do what I want. So you're not allowing others to live the way that they want to live. You're not allowing the Indian government to maintain that island the way they choose to maintain it. And then you're not allowing the people on the Sentinel Island to have their own privacy and to live the way they want to live, and that is without outside contact. Okay, so that was the first choice. That was the first thing. The second thing was where he went wrong is he actually took action toward, not only did he have that thought of, I'm not respecting your laws, I'm going to do what I want to do, all right, he took action in that direction, okay, to actually go out of his way to hire people to take him to that island. So he endangered the lives of other people. All right. Now they took his payment, so they're not innocent by any means. So um, they're co-creators in this, and they also, because they participated in this, they also experienced some form of loss and lack, and they got arrested. All right. So he went to that island, and the first time he went to that island, they chased him off. They shot arrows at him. I think one of the arrows hit his Bible. Okay, I don't know what that was gonna do. Bringing the Bible, I don't know. It's like these are people that don't have, probably they don't have books. They probably don't have a written language. We don't know, so I can't say yes or no. But chances are they probably don't have one because they probably don't need one. So they probably have oral traditions that are handed down. They have some freaking 60,000 years on that island. I can't even imagine the oral history that they would pass down on that. So, what you'd have to remember, they probably have some incredible memories if they're passing their whole oral history down. So, anyways, they were, what was that? It wasn't going to mean anything. How is he going to communicate with them? All right, nobody knows their language. Nobody knows how to communicate with them. All right, and as far as they're concerned, they're fine. They don't want to communicate with anybody outside of their island anyway, so it's not a big, they don't care. So though people on the island were being responsible, they were being responsible, accountable, um, unconditionally, by letting him know in no uncertain terms that they were not interested in speaking with him. Now, they showed him mercy because they didn't kill him. They just shot warning arrows. And so they gave him a chance to leave. So that was merciful. They didn't have to do that. So he left, and they were very clear in the best way that they could communicate, not knowing any other language, not being able to read or write in English or what have you. They let him know they were being responsible for the way they wanted to live by communicating very clearly, okay, that they were not interested. All right. Now, another place that he judged them, okay, is that he was feeling that their life was not complete unless they had Jesus in it. So he was not allowing them to live their life the way they wanted to live, and that would be without Jesus. If they were truly wanting Jesus in their life, they would seek out. They would leave the island and seek that out. So he was trying to use control and manipulation to force a religion on people that were not seeking it, that were not interested in it, because he felt that he knew better for their spiritual well-being than they did. And that's not love. That's not love at all. When you think you know better than somebody else, you're not allowing them. You're not being unconditional with them because you're judging them. You're judging that they are somehow lesser. Their spiritual journey is somehow lesser than yours. That's extreme judgment. That's not love. It's not love at all. And he wasn't being responsible because he wasn't respecting them. He wasn't respecting what they wanted, how they wanted to live. So he was not showing any kind of love, because that's not what love is. We all have misperceptions of what we think love is, but what he was doing was not love. So, getting back to this story in terms of relating it to the energies, the different kind of energy frequencies or foundations we build our life from, he went back. Not only did he choose to ignore their communication, okay, he judged it as whatever they're telling me is not relevant. He judged the genuineness of their communication, and he didn't listen to it. He wasn't responsible in communicating by really truly hearing them and adhering to their wishes. He still wanted to force himself onto those people. So he went back to the island after getting arrow shot at him. And he ended up getting killed. And I guess he got buried in the sand somewhere on the island. And that's the ultimate, loss. He lost his life. And that's why he lost it, is because he was not in love. He was not in the energy of love. He was in the energy of control, manipulation, anger, fear, judgment, blame, guilt, shame. That's the energy he was in. And that's why the outcome happened the way that it happened. If he was truly in the energy of love, and he was truly in his mission to go and convert those people, they would have sought him out. Sequence of events would have aligned themselves so that they approached him. They would have approached him. But they didn't. He forced his way again and again until they had no other choice but to protect themselves. They were being responsible for protecting their way of life. And they did what they needed to do to protect their way of life, to protect their health, to protect their well-being. And that's what they did. And that's why the world is saying, leave them alone. That's why the world is not clamoring for them to be prosecuted and thrown in jail or wiped out or any of that. Because they were being responsible and accountable. They were responding in the love of themselves, of protecting their own way of life, of protecting their way of being. Because they were not enforcing their way of being on anyone else. They were allowing the world to be what the world was. And they were also allowing themselves to be who they were. So they were more in the energy of love because they were being responsible and accountable unconditionally. Because if somebody keeps coming back again and again, threatening your way of life, when you were very clear that you did not want to have anything to do with them, clear through the present action, clear through past actions, and other people communicating that, and it being well known, then they took the responsible act of what they needed to do. They don't have to enact with the outside world if they don't want to. That is their right. That is their right. Because they are not forcing their lifestyle on anyone else. They're allowing the world to be what it is. And thank you very much. We're going to be in our little world here, unbothered. So you guys have at it out there. We're going to be having at it in here. And that's that. So that's really all I wanted to say on this subject. just to look at it and discuss it from just a little bit of a different point of view from basically the energies. When you look at things from an energetic point of view, you begin to see how things work, how things relate, how things line up in the way that they line up. And you can begin to see where actions and behaviors that would normally be clouded up and confused and contorted through rhetoric, like he's a missionary, he's spreading the word of God, that was a wonderful thing. Well, no, it was not. It was a very judgmental thing to do. It was not in the energy of love, it was in the energy of judgment. So you begin to understand why things would end up the way that they ended up. Because he was not following God. God is unconditional, accountable, responsible. At least God, if you say God is of love, then that's what God would be. So God would be allowing those people to live they want the way they wanted to live. That's what a loving God that's truly loving in the unconditional loving sense of the word, that's what God would do. It's like you live the way that God would want those people to live the way that they wanted to live. So um, that explains that. So anyways, I just wanted to share from this little different point of view. I heard a lot of different stories out there of what people were saying, and I just wanted to give this different perspective because it's, again, things get so much simplified when you look at it from this perspective. So anyway, if you like this video, then please click on the like button. Please give a thumbs up and leave your comment, leave your thoughts on what you think about it in terms of, did you feel like what he was doing was a loving act, and how did you feel about the end result? Was it something that he created for himself, or did you feel the people on the island overreacted, or what would you have done differently in their place? Anyways, and please comment and share the video with those people you might think would be interested in hearing this perspective. So I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, and bye for now.